We're back with another show. Simple meals. I got a great recipe for you today. I even hesitate to call it a recipe. I mean, to be honest, it's going to be very simple because that's what the show is about. And we're going to talk about tree tomatoes, okay? Tamarillo, okay? It's an amazing, amazing fruit. I got this from Miami Fruit. They're incredible. We have worked with them for many years. So you could buy Tamarillo from Miami Fruit. Use our discount code Mastering Diabetes. You will save some money, but it's sweet, it's sour, it's just amazing. All right, tree tomato, also known as Tamarillo. All right, so we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna make this meal very quickly, as quick as I can, and then we're gonna answer questions. So Bess, the producer on the back end, she is gonna be saving the questions. I love the Q&A. We're gonna have fun with that. But let's get started. So let's switch to our other camera here. All right. These are the tree tomatoes. Okay, right here. This is it. Tamarillo. Boom. Now, as you guys know on this show, I like to eat my produce ripe. Like, look at these mangoes. These mangoes are ripe. Okay, we're going to talk about those in a second. So even see, and I hope you guys learn on this show that sometimes letting the produce get to a point where it looks ugly and maybe you think you should throw it away is actually the best thing to do if you want the best flavor. Okay. Now, you don't have to eat produce as ripe as I do. I'm just showing you guys how I like to do it. All right. So this one has the most give, right? So see if you can see. See that pretty? You can see that. That's give, right? Now I'm going to find one that's hard. Okay. Look at this. I'm pushing just as hard. I can't even make a depression. I can't even, right? Barely, maybe a little bit. That one's not ripe. We're not going to eat that one. All right. This one, that's got some give. You can see that. We're going to eat that one. This one's got a little bit more. Now, we could eat it. It would be fine, but it's not going to be as flavorful. So we're going to make that a maybe. All right. No, that's too hard. Yeah, that could be a maybe. We're not going to cut up all these. That's way too hard. No way. Maybe. No way. All the books have fallen. Okay. Something about this book doesn't stand right, but that's okay. You know what? We're going to swap that out. Hold on a second. Hold on. Anyways, we'll put it like this. Okay. This one, that's decent. We'll make that a maybe. That's a no. That's a no. Okay. So we'll put the no's up front here as visuals. Okay. There we go. All right. Put the maybes over here. So we've, produce management is a big part of this game here. I'm a big fan of, let me tell you guys this on the other camera. Okay. I have made it a habit when I'm being my best self, all right? Sometimes I lose this habit, but when I'm being my best self, right? I manage my produce every night. And part of managing your produce would be to touch every item. Touch every produce item on your kitchen counter or on your fruit shelf if you've built one of those like me, and just manage it. See where it's at. That's how you prevent things from going bad. That's how you can prevent fruit flies, because you're going to catch something when you see it's like cracked a little bit. You got to do something with that fruit. You're either going to eat it, you're going to put it in the fridge, maybe you have to throw it away. But managing your produce, going through every night, it also helps you understand what's going to be good for tomorrow, right? What's ripe and ready to go. So we just did a little bit of produce management here, all right? So now, this recipe, simple meals here. We're just going to take some tree tomato. We're going to take this product. Let's go to this camera here, okay? We're going to take this, okay? Super Greens. Not sponsored, but I certainly would love to be sponsored. Organic Grow, if we can make a deal, let's do that one day. Can't wait. Okay? But I love this company. I love their products. The Super Greens, it's got red and green Swiss chard, tatsoi, arugula, and spinach. Okay? That's what's in this package. So you got some variety. It's already pre-cleaned. This container can be a great resource on the go, right? So let's say you get off the airplane, you go to the grocery store, you got to make a meal. You could pretty much do this literally at the store, right? You can go to Whole Foods, you can go to whatever grocery store you go to, and you buy this package, right? And let's just open it up real quick. Hold on, it's super easy. All right, we're gonna open it up. All right, you could use this as your bowl. Right? The greens, they're kind of they're fluffed up, they don't actually take up all that space, right? So you just press it down like that. Okay. We could literally make this meal in here. You know what? Just for today, just for funsies today, how about I do that? How about we just do it? All right. So forget this fancy plate. You don't need the fancy plate. theoretically, we could probably like rip this, cut it. I don't know if it's going to rip that well, but you want to know what? Let's just cut it. Hold on, let me get some scissors. All right. You know, we're just going to cut this. We don't need that. All right. Now, if you look, now we're going to try and we're just making space in here, right? Let's push it down, all right? And then we're going to mix it up in a second. So we'll put that on the scale. Now, we already know the amount in here. So here we go. Watch this, guys, all right? So we're going to go to, let's go to this screen. We're going to go to chronometer, all right? We're going to say this was lunch, all right? Add food. I'm going to, see the upper parts of the screen, there's a barcode. The far upper right part of the screen is a barcode. I hit the barcode, and I'm going to scan this. Where's the scan? Is it on the other side? Oh, yeah, sorry. It was on the bottom. Okay. So I scanned it. Organic Girl Super Greens. Boom, right there. This whole container has 142 grams. So we're going to write in 142. Boom. Add. So just there with my Super Greens, I just had 3.3 grams of protein, 5 grams of carbohydrate, and a heck of a lot of nutrients, and a heck of a lot of water content. All right? So we got our Super Greens. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to have fun with the tree tomato. All right? Here it is. So you do not eat the skin of tree tomato. All right? So we're just going to cut off the top. Not going to eat that stem either. So we'll cut off the top there. All right? And we're going to cut it in half. Just like that. Now, that's the tree tomato. Okay? Now, this part right here, that doesn't look right. Something went wrong there. So that's okay, guys. Just cut it off. And be as conservative as you want to be. If you want to feel safe, then the distance between the bad part and the good part, just make it larger if you want to feel safe. Okay, so put it in the compost. Boom. Put it in the compost. All right, so now we don't eat the skin. So we're going to go on my scale over here. We're going to move the mango. See if you can see those numbers. Tear 0. All right. And we're going to now take our spoon, and we're just going to scoop this out. This, I'm telling you guys, this. The first time I had this fruit, I basically flipped out. I just basically lost it. Like, it is so good. It's sweet. It's sour. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Other than it's fantastic, and you have to try it. So we'll cut it into nice pieces. But I like to eat everything. So I'm just scraping as close as I can to the skin. Like, this part is really good. I like that part. Okay, we're gonna put it into here. All right. And this is a nice ripe one. When it's ripe, you can get closer to the skin. Put it in the compost. And then if you want to, you could like cut it, right? So we could cut it more, put it into nice pieces. There we go. Okay, so we got some pieces there. And then let's get the rest of this out. Boom. Okay, we'll cut that into pieces. We're going to get all this stuff. But don't eat the skin. The skin's not good, all right? You're not going to want to eat that. Okay? So we'll cut this just like that. Boom. Okay. So then we're going to add it to our salad here. I'm sorry you can't really see that I'm adding it to the bowl. I need to find a way to make that get on the camera. How can we do that? Maybe we push this forward and push this forward. Maybe. Let's see. Uh-oh. We're going to have loose tree tomatoes. Yeah, maybe if I did a smaller cutting board, wouldn't that be something? How about that? Wouldn't that be something? Let's try it, guys. Let's have some fun here. All right. Now, I hope you guys are asking your questions in the comment box. We will get to your questions. We're going to talk about this. Let's try it. Okay. So if I make the cutting board smaller, then we can maybe bring this closer. Okay, that's a little better. It's a little better. All right. Okay. So we're going to keep cutting up some more tree tomato here. We're going to always use the ripe ones. Okay, this one's ripe. So we're just going to cut off the top, right? Cut it in half. All right. See, this one's perfect. I mean, that is just perfection. I mean, that is so good. It's just, oh my gosh. Like, I'm salivating just looking at this stuff. Okay. And smelling it. It smells good too. It has a great aroma. Great aroma. So we're just going to scoop it out, right? Scoop it out, right? Just like that. And it pops out. And then we can cut it. Okay. Boom, boom. Just like that. And then we put it in our bowl here. Let's see if we can remove this sticker. Once Organic Girl sponsors the show, we'll keep the sticker there, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, but I'm just trying to make it look better for you guys, you know? Like, see the greens, not the sticker. But maybe that looks even worse at this point. Who knows? All right. We're having fun here, guys. You got to have fun in the kitchen. Okay? If your lifestyle is not fun, you're not going to maintain it, right? If you're not loving your food, if you're not trying new things and enjoying the process, then this is just not going to last. Can't. Even though these are simple meals, I don't think they're boring meals. I think these are epic meals. They're unique. They're different. We always have fun ingredients here. I got lots of fun ingredients up my sleeve. So if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, subscribe. If you're not following our Facebook page, we got to do something about that, right? So, but I'm just like scraping out all this stuff. I don't waste any produce, all right? Every penny that I spend on the produce, I get the most out of it. It's a great investment. This is food as medicine here, right? So that's what we're doing. So let's cut this up. So so far we've basically cut up 2 tree tomatoes. Okay, 2 tree tomatoes. Whoops, I missed. That's okay. Okay. So that's cool. We'll go with 2 for this recipe. All right. So that's 108 grams. So let's go back over to chronometer. All right. Let's add a food. Tamarillo. Tamarillo's flesh and seeds. Okay, this is in the USDA nutrient database. We said it was 108. 108. Add. Okay. So rinse my hands here. Let's go back to this camera. Okay, we're having fun here, guys. We're making progress. It's got my phone a little dirty, but that's okay. All right, next up. So in this simple recipe here, actually, it's not technically 3 ingredients. It's actually more than 3 because there's a bunch of ingredients in the salad container, right? But it's like 3 items: the salad container, the tree tomato, and mango. So here we go. Let's talk about the mango. These are keep mangoes. Keep mangoes are available pretty much everywhere right now. That's towards the end of the season. Let me see if I can actually pull up a photo on my text. Hold on. I sent it to a friend. And let's see if this can be pulled up. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Watch this. This is fun. Okay, boom. So again, this brand is not sponsoring us, but I can't wait for the day when they do. CCH. All right. This was purchased from Whole Foods. That's a keep mango. See on the bottom it says KEITT, keep mango, right? And then this is where they were. This is at Whole Foods. It's a green. It looks like a bunch of avocados, but those are green mangoes. They're keep mangoes. The color is green, and when they're ripe, they're still green. Okay, so let's go back to chronometer and back to here. So here we go. We're gonna hit tear on the scale, back to 0. We're gonna cut the mango. Okay, we've done this a million times in this show. This will be the #1 most appeared ingredient, and look at the color on that. I mean, that is just spectacular, unbelievable. Okay, so that smell. Oh my gosh, that smell. Okay. So we got 1 little portion there, 1/2. Let's get the other half. All right. And so look, like I said, this could be a perfect meal that you would eat when you get off the airplane and you have to go like make your first meal in a new city, right? And so these ripe mangoes you could totally travel with, right? Like you could travel with ripe mangoes plus your food for the airplane ride in a tote bag, okay? And then you get off the plane, you go to the store, and you can have like an amazing meal like this. Now look, let's say you don't carry the mangoes. Okay, that's fine. Then when you go to the store, buy some oranges. You can make this exact same meal with oranges because oranges are ripe. They're ripe and ready to go. Think of all the fruits that you could buy at the store that are ripe and ready to go, all right? And so now you saw how the see all this black stuff here? That's okay. Don't stress. It's fine. The fruit on the inside is just fine. Like, look at that piece. That piece is just fine. Like it's great. It's ripe. It's good. All right. So we're gonna put that in here. But these are the types of meals, like using the amazing blessing that pre-cleaned greens exist at pretty much every grocery store, right? There's fruits that don't even need to be ripened. They're just like, apples, oranges, grapes. Figs are in season right now. Like there's a list of fruits that you can go to the store, you can buy. And they're ripe. And you can make a simple meal. Like this is a meal, guys. This is legit. This show's called Simple Meals. It's not simple snacks. It's simple meals. This is going to be a meal. And I want you guys all to learn and also know that fruit can make a meal. Okay? You can learn to eat enough fruit to make a meal out of fruit, plus the greens, plus, you'd probably put tree tomato as a non-starchy vegetable. That's where that belongs. Okay? So fruit is the calorie source here. Fruit is also going to be the protein source. Okay? People don't think of fruit as a food that provides protein, but it absolutely does. Roughly call it like 6 to 9%, probably on average, somewhere around there. All right. So we'll look at those numbers in Chronometer when we're done here, but we're putting this together. So, I probably should go back to the bigger cutting board. It's a little bit small. But we're working with it. We're fitting everything in the shot. We're having fun here. Let me know in the chat box. Again, I can't monitor the chat box and make the meal, so I don't know exactly what you guys are saying, but I would like you to write the comment K. Write the letter K as a comment if you are eating Keat mangoes right now. Okay? Or maybe if you've ever had Keat mangoes. Have you ever had a Keat mango in your life? Write the K. And if you're a person who doesn't really fully understand that there's so many different varieties of mangoes and you kind of just eat mangoes, you don't even know what variety you're eating, then just write the letter M. How many M's and how many K's do I have out there? All right? I want to know. Because if you're writing K, then you know that there's different varieties of mangoes. Like you sit down, you eat the mango, you're like, okay, I'm having a Keat. That goes through your brain. Or you're like, oh no, I'm just eating a mango. I didn't really know there were lots of varieties of mangoes. I'd like to know. I'll take a quick glance. We got M's, we got K's. What do we got? Let me know. All right. In the meantime, we're going to keep cutting up this mango here. All right. You can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm scraping the seed. Right. That's what I'm doing. Okay. So what do we got? Never heard of it. Okay, that's fun. Does the mango have to give when it is ripe? If your mango is rock hard, that mango's not ripe. A mango absolutely should have give. Okay, so that's 462. We're gonna go with more here. I'd like to get depends on how hungry you are, how many grams of carbohydrate you want to have, but we're gonna put in at least 600 for this recipe. So basically, we're basically at a container of greens, which was 142 grams of total weight. Then we had 100 grams of tree tomato, and now I'm adding in what we would call roughly 600 grams of mango, right? Roughly. I think I'll go with more. Actually, we're already above, so we're gonna go higher. So this is the fun part. I say this on every show. I'm going to be a broken record, and I'm happy to do that for the rest of my life if I have to. When you follow the low-fat, plant-based whole food diet, you literally eat more food in order to lose weight. Eat more to weigh less. This is what happens over and over and over again. And that's because these foods are so low in their calorie density compared to processed food, compared to things like bread and animal products and, higher fat foods like nuts and seeds and stuff like that. It's just low in calorie density. Okay. So I'm just going to go for this whole mango. Why not? Okay. But you also see how everything is fitting in this container. No problem. Right. So all you have to do is open the container and just squish it down a little bit. There's a lot of air in these containers, and they serve as a great bowl. Okay. It's a great bowl when you're on the road. Okay. And you need something convenient. Okay. I like eating all the mango. I scrape it all off. There's no waste. No waste when I'm cutting a mango. Theoretically, I could just maybe pre-cut these before the show. It's not a bad idea. Then we could spend more time getting to questions. But if you want to see these meals made in real time, you can do that too. So here we are. We're making simple meals in real time. Now, another way to do this, again, so people are always talking about not having time. I wouldn't necessarily need to do all this cutting right? I could be snacking on, I do this all the time. This meal could literally take me basically 0 minutes, like 1 minute. If all I did was just bring the ingredients to the table, and I've done this before at like a Whole Foods or at like, you know, the eating area of a grocery store. No prep time. You just take this box, you open it up, you take the mango, you start cutting it, and you take the treat tomato, and like you literally eat it as you're putting it all together. Like I don't need to like do all this prep time. Like it would be a 0 prep time meal if I just ate the ingredients as I was like opening them, if that makes sense. So we're doing it for the show here. All right. So we're getting there. Now I hope you can just see this pile of gold, like literally a pile of ripe, juicy, incredibly delicious gold. These mangoes happen to be grown here in South Florida. All right. Ripe, epic, delicious, Keat mangoes. All right. So we are now at 1040. So I definitely like almost doubled my 600 number. I'm going to rinse my hands. I'll be right back. Okay. But you think you can still hear me. Okay. So let's go to chronometer now. Add mango. All right. 1040. Okay, so look at that. Protein, 8.5 grams of protein, 156 grams of carbohydrate, 4 grams of fat. Okay? So remember the core teaching here, don't eat more than 30 grams of total fat per day. Just watch your life change and your insulin sensitivity change as you successfully implement that one principle. All right? And know that you are getting fat, including essential fatty acids, from all the whole foods that you're consuming. All right? So by the end of the day, when I eat 0 of the commonly overtly fat foods, whether that's nuts and seeds, avocado, coconut meat, olives, with none of those foods, I'm still getting at least 20-ish grams of fat per day. All right? So just know that. Know that whole foods contain fat. So we're going to click add to diary. Okay, so this meal is 166 grams of total carbohydrates. So what we're going to do is, see where it says lunch? I'm going to swipe to the right. No, not there. Swipe to the right. Boom. You get this blue thing, and you click Show Nutrition Summary, and there you have it. You can see the full meal here, 14 grams of protein. We could even see, I think, by ingredient. Could we? So anyways, that's just for fun. But so for me to eat this, I would basically go 166. I'd probably divide by probably 40. 166 divided by 40. 166 divided by 40. So I'd go with 4 units of insulin after this for this meal. And because I had to go down a little bit, I would make sure that I did like a little bit of walking afterwards. Just a little bit of walking, take a phone call, do a Zoom meeting, answer some Slack messages while walking and on my phone rather than sitting at my computer. Just because, again, I had to go down. I don't want to go to 4.5. That's going to be too much. I'd rather go down and then compensate for that with a little bit of activity. So this is something I'd put on my decision tree, and I share that with my coach. If you're in the Mastering Diabetes personalized coaching program, you're going to get a lot of support there. So let's go back to this camera, and let's mix this up. So let me go get a fork. Hold on. Okay, so we can we'll just move this for now. I'll clean this up later. Okay, I definitely made a mess, but that's okay, guys. It's a TV show. Okay, here we go. I mean, look at that, guys. I mean, that is so juicy. I mean, it's unbelievable. I probably should have done more tree tomato, more Tamarillo, but I'm apparently one of the few people that really like hacks at my salad, but that's what I do. I mean, I'll try and do a little more gracefully for you guys here. But yeah, like just mix it in. Like this is going to be extraordinary. Okay. This is going to be absolutely extraordinary. I mean, it is so juicy. People always asking me like, do you use a dressing? People look at my Instagram stories where I post a lot of my food intake. Usually I'm on a little bit of an Instagram break right now, but they're like, what dressing do you use? I'm like, I don't use a dressing. not that I'm against dressings, but my fruit is just ripe. My fruit is ripe and it's juicy. And that's where, you see the moisture. Okay. But look at this. I mean, how simple and convenient is this little container here, right? So we've made a heck of a salad here, and we're just mixing it, getting the stuff from the bottom, bringing it to the top, really mixing it together. That's how I like to do it, and like it's just epically delicious. I really would love for you guys to make this. Order the tree tomatoes from Miami Fruit, or you could just try and look at like your local ethnic market would be a good place, or ask your produce manager, hey, can you order some tree tomatoes? Okay, Tamarillo. Boom, there it is. Okay, let's answer questions as fast as possible. All right, this has been fun. We don't need this anymore. Let's bring the mic over here. Okay. Let's see how's my bug? Just for funsies. How about this? Let's talk about time and range just for fun today. So sugar meat. Here we go. Boom. My blood glucose has been solid today. All right. So we see here in the lower right corner, it says time and range today has been 92%, 8% low. So a little bit low overnight there. But we're gonna fix that. I think I also had some lows yesterday in the afternoon, so it's gonna come back, and I should be able to increase it. Let's look at my 90-day time and range. All right, 90 days, 90%, 6% high, 4% low, right there. So look at the average today average for 3 days. Let's do average for 90 days. 122 standard deviation average for. That's 35. That's great. So 122 divided by 35. All right. That's what you want. And you want that to be less than a third. Okay. So just for fun, I thought we would do that. Now let's answer questions. Okay. Here we go. What do we got? Starred. Confused. My doctor questioned my glucose 116, which my A1C 5.3. Which one should I follow? I'm sorry. I don't have enough information there, but, just don't have enough information. I can't really help. Sorry. Next question. Guys, I'm happy to answer questions on this show and try and help you as much as possible. Try to make your comment detailed, and then we'll see if we can help. Is weight loss the key to insulin sensitivity, or is a low-fat plant-based more effective than a high-fat diet where both result in similar weight loss? Bought your book and appreciate what you do. Ron, great question. So here's the thing. We went into detail in this in the book, but the bottom line is, yes, you can lose weight with a low-carb, high-fat diet, for sure. But what we are teaching and presenting to everybody here and to the world is that when you do that approach, you are eating yourself into a state of glucose intolerance. Okay? You're not insulin sensitive. You're not glucose sensitive, that's for sure. You're glucose intolerant. And that we're asserting that based on the research, that is not a good idea. It'd be much better to achieve the weight loss and be glucose tolerant and be insulin sensitive. That's what our approach is about. So all these amazing results you hear from, the keto world, low carb world, like they're real, they're great. We're saying you can get the same benefits here and long-term health. That's really what we're talking about. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you join the party. I'm glad you got the book. And let's go to the next question. All right. When I cut open a watermelon, it has yellow patches all over inside and doesn't taste good. What does yellow? I don't really know. That's a good question. I don't know what the yellow patches are, but what I will tell you is anytime you cut open a piece of produce that you bought at a regular grocery store and it's not good, take a picture. You don't even have to take the item back. Just take a picture and they will replace it. They'll give you your money back, or they'll just give you a new one. So that's just the way produce works. All right. Next question. Do these tomatoes actually grow on trees or bushes? That's a good question. I don't know. Let's see. How about Google? What? So tree tomato plant. Let's see. Let's see. I got some pictures up here. It looks like they grow on a tree. That's what my quick Google is showing me. Well, I don't know. Hold on a second. This picture makes me second guess that. Uh, I guess we're gonna have to do further research. Good question. Do some research and let me know what you find out. Okay. Do you love your haircut? Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's very kind. Do you ever refrigerate your Keat mangoes? Absolutely. Majority of my mangoes are in the fridge right now. So I always buy an excess amount of definitely the key ingredients that I have. So a lot of papaya and a lot of mangoes are just my staples right now. And I'm always never concerned about buying too much because I will just put the right stuff in the fridge and it will last in the fridge for weeks. Okay. And the mangoes you could even freeze. Okay. So yes, absolutely. I store key ingredients in the fridge. Okay, let's see. I've been adding greens to my desserts. Is that okay? Absolutely. The more greens you eat, the better, right? Having greens or non-starchy vegetables or both at every meal is basically a cornerstone of the mastering diabetes method, especially in the beginning when you are getting out of a state of insulin resistance. When you're becoming more insulin sensitive, when you reach a higher level of insulin sensitivity, you have a little bit more grace, like a little bit less optimization needs to happen in order to see the type of blood glucose control that you're looking for. So in the beginning, you come into our program, you start working with one of our coaches, you're in one of your cohorts with other people who have the same diabetes as you, and like you're working on this, right? Like you're working on your health. You're coming in with a high level of insulin resistance in most cases. We need to eat specific foods, specific times, in specific ways, in specific combinations, move your body in specific ways to optimize that journey of becoming more insulin sensitive. Okay? We can help you through that process and make sure it goes as gracefully as possible. Now, if you just do the program, right, and just do the principles, you will get to the end destination. It just might be a little bit rockier, right? The journey might not be as graceful, but you'll get there eventually. So we're here to just sort of guide you through that process. The recipes in this book, Mastering Diabetes book right here. Yeah, so that's the page to schedule a discovery call to learn how our program can help you. But yeah, the book talks you through a lot of these details as well and provides you with recipes that are going to maximize your insulin sensitivity as well. Whoops, every time I put the book up, it falls. I gotta fix that later. What if we did this? How about this? How about that? Okay, let's try that. Okay. If you haven't picked up your Amla Green yet, get that. All right. Hibiscus, that's my favorite flavor. Caffeine free. It's incredible. Let's go to this camera for that. All right. You got it. Boom. Amla Green. This is the 30 serving. This is the 90 serving. Okay. This stuff is pure gold. It's pure gold. It helps me with my Dawn phenomenon. I take less insulin. That's the number one improvement that I've seen, like factually, is that I need less insulin to treat the Dawn phenomenon when I consume Amla Green consistently. So that stuff's powerful. All right. So, Robbie, you should do a seminar on the chronometer. You make it seem so simple. I appreciate that, FBS 191. I tell you what, the key thing that makes it simple on this show is that we're eating simple meals, right? Simple meals, less complicated, makes everything easier. Now, we do in our coaching program provide a lot of coaching and support around chronometer because there are a lot of nuances and there are things you can do. They sent me a notification yesterday and invited me to a beta group where I'm going to be able to connect my Dexcom to my chronometer account. That's going to be fun. So I'll keep you guys posted on how that goes. Chronometer should sponsor this show. One of these days we're going to have sponsors, guys. I'm going to be so excited. The first day we have a sponsor who really supports the show. I'm going to be stoked and I can't wait. And hopefully you guys support the sponsor as well. We'll get there. All right. Which Dexcom do you have? I don't recognize that screen you shared. Okay. So good question. I wear a Dexcom G6 and this app you're looking at right here, this is called SugarMate. SugarMate is an app that gives me a lot more detail. The Dexcom app, let me see here. Let's see here. Hold on a second. Dexcom. This is the Dexcom app. You recognize that one. Okay. So that answers that question. Let's see. What do we got next? Or are we not damaging our food if we? Okay, so somebody's asking like, are we damaging our food if we process, if we cook them? Based on evidence-based research and the ability to reverse chronic disease, and the literature we reviewed, like it's not a concern for us here at Mastering Diabetes. So again, we practice evidence. Our coaching program, the Mastering Diabetes method is based on evidence-based principles and what the research has demonstrated for almost 100 years now when it comes to what foods you can eat, what things you can do with your body to maximize your insulin sensitivity. So it's not a concern. We do see some particular benefits for adding in more and more raw food. So our program definitely includes a good amount of raw food. And some people during the transition, we do a technique called ARAP, as raw as possible. And so that's kind of fun. So, we can also support people who choose to do a 100% raw food diet. That's fine. But when it comes to reversing insulin resistance, it's not a concern. Okay. From Scottsboro, Alabama, my doctor said I had metabolic syndrome at my checkup 2 weeks ago and A1C 5. Okay, so here we go. Kathy, I'm so glad you're here and you're on this channel. I hope you've subscribed and you really just watch our content, watch our testimonials. We have a playlist of just testimonials, which is really inspiring. But if you have an A1C of 5.8, that means you're living with prediabetes, and I would recommend that you take action. It is a serious, prediabetes is serious. A lot of people aren't really taking it seriously. There's over 100 million people in the US alone living with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. Majority of them prediabetes. Over 85 million have prediabetes, and you got to do something about it. So you're in the right place. If you haven't bought our book, buy the book. If you're not consuming amla green every day, start that. Like, you got to start somewhere. You got to take action. Get that A1C to a non-diabetic range. And the sooner you take action, the easier it's going to be to fix the problem. The longer you let this progress, the more challenging it can get. And your beta cells can get exhausted. You have the potential to become an person living with insulin-dependent type 2 diabetes. That is possible. And that's a person who's lived with type 2 for so long that the beta cells are just burned out. The beta cells, you do not have enough functioning beta cells to produce a sufficient quantity of insulin that you need to manage your blood glucose levels, but you don't have an autoimmune condition. You don't have any antibodies, okay? You have a low C-peptide because your pancreas has gotten exhausted. So take action, use our resources, book a discovery call if you want coaching and guidance along the way. We're here for you, but definitely take action, all right? Is hypoglycemia reversible? So in most cases, yes, this is a problem that can be addressed. There's a lot of more nuances around hypoglycemia, but it can be addressed. And the first place to start, again, anytime with some of these like general conditions, the first place to start is let's just make sure the diet is clean, you're active, you're doing what we're going to show you how to do in our coaching program. Let's start there. If that doesn't resolve it, we can take additional steps, but we have to have the foundation. You got to start somewhere, okay? So eating whole plant foods, getting rid of refined foods, which can cause an unhealthful insulin spike, which then can potentially lead to that lower blood glucose reading. We got to just take care of the basics. Okay, a couple more questions that we're going to wrap up here. Tamarillo tree, South American native, small growing shrub or semi-woody tree. Debbie, I appreciate you contributing. Thank you so much. We now have our answer. Love that. Miami fruit ships Tamarillo. They sure do. These are straight from Miami fruit. So good. And they ship, I think, the best Tamarillos. All right, one more question. We will be able to watch a recording of this when this, yes. So all of our recordings are available on our Facebook page, the Mastering Diabetes Facebook page, and they are available on YouTube. They're archived on YouTube as well. So just go to YouTube, look at all our most recent videos, and you'll see the most recent lives. Okay, I got one more question, and then we're good, Bess. Where can we find the reference to A1C numbers? Like if they're prediabetes or type 2? That's a simple Google, but I can tell you 5.6% or lower is non-diabetic. 5.7 to 6.4 is prediabetes. 6.5 and above is type 2 diabetes. All right. So I'm telling you right here on this show, looking you straight in the eye and saying, if your A1C, if you're a non-insulin, like a non-autoimmune form of diabetes, not type 1.5, not type 1, if you're outside of that condition, if your A1C is 5.7 or higher, you got to do something. I would suggest joining our coaching program. It's the greatest investment you ever make in your entire life. And we'll just take care of it because nothing is more important than your health. But you got to take care of that. And it is a serious thing. And you can take care of it. And the sooner you do, the better. All right. So that's the final message for today. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you guys. I hope you make this recipe. I hope you tag us. And have a beautiful rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one. Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern, every week. See you here.